try this.
All right, welcome, my beautiful people to STR News and Digest, your go-to place for everything related to short-term rentals, travel, and the business of hospitality. Today, got some news that I think if you travel, I've definitely got some news that you're gonna like. If you haven't been on Twitter or on Threads, you probably haven't heard this story because it just came out this morning. I'm also going to go over a few updates on the business. I'm going to go over a beautiful acquisition property that we just got, and it's live now on our website in Colombia. What else am I? Oh, we're going to talk about Marriott and their new outdoor branding and really what that means for the hospitality industry. And I want to talk a little bit probably about the couple of things that I'm expanding into. But without further ado, let's kick this off with the latest news from TSA. If you actually, let me, before I do that, let me remind you guys, if you are watching this either live or on playback, do me a favor, hit the like button, say hi, comment below, especially if you are on YouTube. Leave a comment, please. I really need people to leave comments. There's a couple of things that it's really interesting to me. There's two things interesting about my analytics. Number one is that more than 55% of you that watch me regularly are not subscribed. That's number one. And then number two, I get anywhere between 100 and a couple of thousand views per video, but yet very few people comment. I need to know, A, if you're watching, A, if you have a question, and A, if you have any suggestions, if you travel and something that I said that you don't agree with, or if you want us to learn from you, or you want to share something, do it in the comments, people. Do me that big favor. Now, I don't know I know last Wednesday I did not get on because I was in Georgia, super busy, could not connect. So I don't know if the last time you saw me, I had my buzz, I cut off my hair. But people, it is summer, it is hot. I've been working a lot in my vineyard, and it is super hot up there. I posted some cool pictures though. You know, our grapevines really exploded this year. We're going to have a very big harvest. And surprisingly, and if I get some pictures, I'll pull them up in a second. But again, if you follow me on Instagram, you're going to see this, especially in my stories. If you recall, I went crazy creating my orchard, right? I planted all sorts of fruits out there. And surprisingly, a lot of them already produce fruits. My figs trees are producing. My lemon trees produce. My Sosoma oranges produce. My apple trees produce. And we had a very big blackberry harvest. So super happy, super proud of myself because I actually did a lot of the labor. And again, this is all new to me. I'm hitting the ground running. It's all trial and error. Luckily, nothing's died yet. And again, I was told when I purchased all these fruit trees that it was going to take me between 2 and 3 years before I see any actual fruit. And again, super shocked, super surprised. I want to give a shout out to Alicia, who is my caretaker of the property when I'm not there. She's been working her butt off, making sure that everything's watered, everything's pruned. So big shout out to her. So let's move on to the story of the day for me anyways. If you haven't heard, TSA has eased up on a very annoying travel requirement or restriction, right? You no longer have to take off your shoes. Now, that's dependent, right? Majority of us will not have to take off our shoes when we go through TSA anymore. Now, if you have, which again, this part never made sense to me. If you have TSA pre-check, or clear, you didn't have to take, and you have the TSA pre-check on your clear, you didn't have to take off your shoes. And I never could understand what the difference was between us going through TSA pre-check and the others who are not going through TSA pre-check. But nonetheless, now when you go through security, chances are you may not have to take off your shoes unless they're going to set off the metal detector. Or when you go through that, whatever that screening thing is, some people may have to still take off their shoes, but the majority of us do not have to. And I think that's great news. And if you think that is great news, hit that like button, smash it, and comment below. All right. Next thing, I want to actually show you this. So I'm going to share my screen. I'm going to talk about a beautiful property that we just acquired. And let me see if I share my screen. Share. Boom. Here we go. All right. So this is, we're calling it Casa Pablo. And this property is in Tabio, which, if you're not familiar with Tabio, it is about a 45 to an hour drive outside of Bogota, Colombia. Now, it's actually the same route that you would take to go to Sicapira. It's the same route you will take to go to Tabio. In fact, one of the highlights about this property, one of the reasons I'm super excited about this property, is because it's in the mountain area of Tabio, and there's a lot of mountain biking trails, and one of the trails actually leads you right into Sicapira. If you don't know what Sicapira is, the most famous part about that little town is the salt mine, La Catedral de Sal. Very famous. I've actually done multiple videos on it. Go to my Instagram, you'll get to see it. But let me give you a quick rundown. Now, it is a 3.5 acre property. There's actually 3 homes on it. There's 2 houses that we're listing, and then you have the house in which the caretakers live in. Now, when you book either of the 2 houses, they're identical. So I'm only going to show you one, but both houses are identical. They're 2 bedrooms, 2 bath, 2-story homes. The master bedroom is in the 2nd floor and has an ensuite. But let me just show you the pictures real quick. It has a sauna. One of the amenities of this property, it has a sauna. Now, we don't have all the pictures posted yet because when we took pictures, at the time when we went there with the photographer to take pictures of this property, the weather wasn't that great. So all of our outdoor photos didn't come out good, but we're getting, I should receive those new photos this week and they'll be up. But that's the sauna that I just showed you. This is the balcony from the master bedroom. So you can see the mountains in the background. You can see the land. Beautiful view. I'm going to go kind of quickly on this. This is the 2nd bedroom. Now, the 2nd bedroom is downstairs. There's, again, upstairs is the master bedroom. It has its own private bathroom. Downstairs, you have a bedroom, and then you have a bathroom, but it's not an ensuite. The bathroom could be shared with people that are staying on the property. This is the kitchen. More pictures of the bathroom. We took a lot of, for some reason, the photographer took a lot of pictures of the kitchen. As you can see, you have an oven, stove, air fryer. There's also a microwave, not in this picture, but you have a toaster. You have everything you need to cook when you come here, if you want to cook. What I like about this place also, it has a nice outdoor kitchen now, or outdoor barbecue. It's a nice outdoor barbecue. But that outdoor barbecue is going to be a shared barbecue. So again, there's 2 houses that we have listed. They're identical. They're both twins. They're identical to this one. Now, you can book both properties if you're coming with a big group, or you can just book one, but with the understanding that that 2nd property might also be booked and the barbecue is shared between the two properties. So, oops, I didn't want to do that. Let me go back. Okay, those are all the pictures. This is on our website. When you go on, there's a 2-bedroom, 2-bath. These are the amenities. It talks about Tabio. So it's in the mountains. Again, it's close to Bogota. If you're not familiar with the weather, there's nothing hot about this property, meaning the temperature hot, right? It stays pretty mild or pretty cool throughout the year. At night, it does get a little chilly. It can go down into the low 40s. At night, during the day, stays around 60 degrees. So if you're looking for something in the 80s and 90s, this is not your place. The other thing about this place is that if you book this place, you can also hire our cook. She'll be there to either do in-stay cleanings or to cook your breakfast, lunch, or dinner, whatever you want, you want. But there'll be she'll be on the main house, which is at the entrance. These two houses are a little further back on the property. They're definitely going to be private. So if you want some privacy, you're definitely going to have plenty of privacy. But understand that you're not going to be alone. You're going to have someone there to answer any questions that you may have. Again, if you want to hire her to do your cooking or your cleaning or to go grocery shopping for you, she is going to be there and be available for that. There's going to also be some bikes that you can rent if you want to do any type of mountain biking, or if you want to ride to Sicapira. Again, the ride to Sicapira in the Salt Mine is, for me, is one of must-see places in all of Colombia. It's, you heard the 7 wonders of the world. This is one of the 7 wonders of Colombia. Highly recommend you actually spend a day there. If you don't want to go biking there, you can take either Uber there, taxi, or there's an actual train that you can take to get there. Anyway, love the property. Super excited about this property. If you're interested in this particular property, if you DM me Casa Pablo, I will give you a 50% discount on your first day for this property. All right. Next, let's talk about, let's see what other story I want to talk about. Let's get into, since we're on the topic of, and we're in summer, right? Summer is by far the busiest travel. July and August are the busiest travel months of the year, and that's worldwide. Most people take their vacations either July and August, mainly because if you're a family, your kids are off from school. If you're in Europe, almost everyone gets their holidays in July or August. I don't know why that is, but that's when they get their holiday. And people in Europe, most of them get like a 30-day vacation. So they'll take that whole time off. But it's the most travel months. So I want to give you 7, what I refer to as cool stations. Some are going to be in the US, some are not in the US. But let me see if I can bring this up, because I'm having a hard time with. The other thing is, these are live stream people. I'm very dependent on the Wi-Fi. Sometimes the Wi-Fi, it's hit or miss. So if you're having issues seeing me or hearing me, please comment below so we can have the technical team look at it. Let me go back here real quick. I'm going to bring this up. Because I don't know why it's not coming up yet. All right, here we go. They popped up. I'm going to give you 7 locations. One is a very popular location, but I'm calling it cool vacations, right? because these destinations I'm going to give you, and it may not be a total of 7 destinations I'm going to give you, it's not super hot. Now, some people may differ on some of these when I say it's not super hot, because the very first one for me is here in the US. It's beautiful in the summer, and that is Boston, right? The dreamy summer city in Boston is, for me, one of the best places to visit, especially if you like seafood, right? They have the lobster feast that goes on almost every restaurant in downtown Boston. And you can admire the Venetian style museums that they have. It's just a really cool, fun place to go in the summer. Lots to do. The Boston Harbor Hotel is my recommendation if you're going to stay in a hotel, or as always, if you want to book a short-term rental, I highly recommend you do that. Second place I recommend you go visit is going to be Sydney. Now, Sydney right now is as a very mild winter, because it's like their winter. Same thing with some of the places I'm going to recommend in South America. Their seasons are opposite of ours. So right now they're experiencing like their winter, but it's mild and it's a great place. Now, July marks Australia's winter school break. So it's going to be kind of busy in some areas. You're going to see a lot of outdoor ice skating, families having, spending a lot of time on the outdoors, doing outdoor activities. The Ace Hotel in Sydney is one of the places I recommend if you're going to stay at a hotel, or again, get a short-term rental, get a guided cruise, and you're going to see some humpback migration at this time there. And if you go to South Wales, you'll definitely see some humpback whales if you do that. It's a beautiful place. It's a long trek, though. It's a long trek, a long flight to get there. Next place I highly recommend, especially if you are a wine and meat eater, is going to be Argentina. Right now, during this time of year, especially in the mountains of Argentina, it is beautiful, people. For me, Argentina right now is also a very inexpensive place in comparison to Boston, going to Boston or going to Sydney. It's going to be very inexpensive if you go there now. There's tons of vineyards that you can take tours at. Being a vineyard owner, I have become fascinated with other vineyards, and I highly recommend you visit one. It is beautiful. Again, if you like wine, do the wine and cheese tasting. And Argentina is known for their meat. If you like meat, you're going to have a great time there. Highly recommend you go there. Next is going to be Ireland, especially the west coast of Ireland. During this time of year, they got a couple of festivals, but it also kicks off their movie premiere. So if you're a movie buff, if you go there, especially July, between the 14th and the 27th of July, if I remember correctly, the dates, don't quote me on that though. It's their movie festival, and it's also their International Art Festival. So if you're into that, and if you want to see some beautiful beaches, now again, the weather it's not hot. If you want to get out of the heat of summer, these are the places I recommend you go. But the west coast of Ireland is definitely chilly. You're definitely going to need a jacket if you go there. But place I recommend you stay is called the Funky Hotel, or the Dean. The other one is Dean. What's the name of it? Let me see if I can. Dean Galloway, I think it's what it's called. But anyway, beautiful place. Highly recommend you visit that place. Next is going to be, staying on that same region, is if you go to London. This time of year, I think London is awesome. Again, if you've never been to London, there's a lot to see, a lot to do. I am not a big fan of their food, but if you're a beer drinker, it's visit some of their pubs there. Go to the Hyde Park. London has a lot of beautiful parks. There's also the Design Museum. You can cruise along, but London is a place that I recommend, especially now in the summer month. Next, this place has become extremely popular, not just now in the summer, but throughout the year, and that's going to be Tokyo, Japan. It's been years since I've been to Tokyo. I was there in my 20s. I haven't been back. But when I say it has become extremely popular, but it's still not what I refer to overrun by tourists. Again, one of the recommendations that I'm going to give you is going to be Paris. But Paris, like I mentioned before, it is overrun by tourists. And there's been a lot of pushback with over tourism. That's why I picked these places that I'm giving you. One, to get out of the summer heat, if you want to get out of the summer heat, but also because they're not really overrun by tourism, so that you can, still see beautiful things without being overpriced, number one, because I really hate how expensive things have become lately, especially in these tourist hotspots. But Tokyo, highly recommend Tokyo. All right, so those are the places that I recommend. If you visited those places lately, comment below. Let me know what you thought of them, or give us some suggestions of what to see or what to visit when in those areas. All right, let's talk about Marriott. I almost forgot talking about Marriott. Now, Marriott, I've talked about them before because they are investing heavily in outdoor accommodations, or what they're referring to is their outdoor brand collection, right? They have spent a lot of money doing acquisitions, right? They acquired two major companies. Post Cabin is one of them, and I can't remember what that second one is right now. But if you go back to my, I think last month's STR News, I mentioned this information before. But what they're doing is they're doubling down on these outdoor accommodations, or what's referred to as glamping accommodations, right? I've been pushing this. I've been investing in this. I think this is where the next move is in the hospitality industry. But Marriott is, not only are they investing in these outdoor activities, or what they're referring to as outdoor collections, but they're also trademarking a lot of stuff that they're doing there. They're really big on this outdoor niche. I've said this before, I'm going to say it again. I am not the smartest person on the planet, but I know how to follow patterns. And I look at brands like Starbucks, for example. Starbucks has an entire team that goes out there and investigate where they want to put their next store in, right? And oftentimes when you see a Starbucks pop up in a specific neighborhood, that neighborhood tends to increase in value. Marriott does the same thing, right? So if Marriott is doubling down and investing heavily in these outdoor brands or outdoor accommodations, if you are an investor, or if you're in the short-term rental industry, highly recommend that you start looking into that if you want to stay ahead of the game and not play catch-up like a lot of us do in this industry. So that's that. Now let's talk about some moves that I am personally making. And let me see if I can bring this up. So I'm always looking on how I can make my guest experience better, right? What else can I provide for my guests when they book one of my properties, so they can have either a better stay, or have the ability to either save money, or have the ability to explore particular areas. One second, let me try to get this back up because I don't know why it did this. Okay. Try to explore. Now, if you follow the channel, you know that when I travel, I don't like to rent a car, right? I don't like to take a taxi. I don't like to take an Uber. I like to either rent a bike or rent a scooter or walk. One of those three things. Now, if like in this uh, May trip that I took in Europe, I had to rent a car because I was traveling from Switzerland to Austria and to take a train from Switzerland to Austria. I believe it was Switzerland to Austria or Switzerland to Germany. I can't remember right now. But it was going to take me more than 8 hours. I had to take multiple trains, and I didn't want to do that. So I decided to rent a car. So having said that, the first move that I've made so far this month, and I've been working my ass off doing a couple of these things. Number one is that we're going to be in the car rental business, right? We have got we acquired several cars. So now we are on Turo. So if you book one of our properties, I'm going to give you a great discount on one of our cars. And we have a variety of cars. We have a Cadillac. We have a couple of Japanese cars. Long story short, if you book a property, I'm going to give you a list of the cars that we have available so that you can rent them through Turo. In addition to that, my biggest fan, or what I like the most, is e-bikes. I have a wide collection of e-bikes now. I have the last month and a half, or actually last 2 months, I have been acquiring a fleet of e-bikes. I'm going to right now share my screen. I don't know why I kept that up too, and I'm sorry for keeping that up and not taking this out. Let me stop sharing that. Share my screen right now to give you an idea. So I did two things. You're going to be able to rent these bikes either directly through our website when you book a property. You're going to get a link. Or if you don't book a property, but you're visiting Fort Lauderdale and still want to rent an e-bike, you're going to be able to do so through this website, right? And it's called Friend with A. And if you go to this website, we have a variety of e-bikes. I'm just showing you one, the price range on it, if you can rent the daily, weekly, and we will actually deliver the bike to you. You don't have to go to a location to pick them up. But this is just one. This is the one e-bike. I will show you one more. Let me stop sharing this screen. Let me see if I can bring up the other one. Now that e-bike that I just showed you is a 750 watt motor e-bike. It's your standard class 3 e-bike. But we have others that are class 3 and higher, faster, more, longer range. For example, the one that I just finished showing you, that one on a single charge, you can get about 20 to 25 miles if you pedaled it, to give it some assistance and not just use the throttle the entire time. This one here, the Seeker 24, this one's a high-powered e-bike. Now you can you can leave it at class 1, 2, or 3 if you want, or you can switch to unlimited and go as fast as 38 to 40 miles an hour. And you have a much larger range with this bike. This bike, you can go up to 30 miles on a single charge. And then I have a slew of other bikes that you can go either faster or longer distance. I got bikes where you can take a passenger on. The point here is if you book one of my properties, you have the ability to rent these e-bikes. And again, we will deliver the e-bike. Or if you are in Fort Lauderdale and staying in a hotel and you still want to book an e-bike, I will send you the link that you can book it up from this website. Again, we have a total of 14 different types of e-bikes that you can rent. or you can, if you want to stay in the same class, for example, the Seeker 24, we have a pair. We have 2 Seeker 24s. And the Wave, the Velo Wave that I just showed you, the red one, we have 3 Velo Waves. So if you want to keep it in the same class, you can. Or if you want a variety of e-bikes, you can. Or if you've never been on an e-bike and you want to explore Fort Lauderdale, go to the parks, go to the beaches, and don't know anything about them, then hit me up, send me a DM, and I'll based on what your needs are, I'll make recommendations as to which bike you're going to, I recommend that you rent, right? In addition to that, this is the last thing I'm going to talk about. Second to the last thing, because I want to remind you guys about my ebook. We are, for the entire month of July, we have discounted the ebook so that more people can have an opportunity to get it. So if you're a short-term rental operator and want to learn how to truly market that property so you can grow your business, get more direct bookings. Again, direct bookings is the key here. Then buy the ebook. The link's going to be in the description. But the other thing I'm going to be doing is we're looking to start a new channel. That new channel is going to be all about e-bikes. We're going to talk about how to save money using e-bikes, how to make money using e-bikes, how to explore using e-bikes, and more importantly, how to have a lot of fun on e-bikes. Again, I am obsessed with them. Hence why I now own, you're going to think I'm crazy, but I am up to almost 20 e-bikes that we have. Again, some are in my property in Georgia, so that when you book a property there, you can use an e-bike. They're not for rental. They're just for my guests. When you book one of our properties or one of our cottages, the barn or the dome in Georgia, but here in Fort Lauderdale or in the South Florida area, because if you book my property in West Palm or anything in Miami or anything in between, and you're interested in renting an e-bike, just DM me and I'll get you the right e-bike at the right price so you can explore and see what I see when I travel. You'll be surprised of what the stuff that you miss when you're in a car. So, it's a lot, people. I just can't explain how much easier it is to get around on an e-bike, how much more fun it is to get around on an e-bike, and how much more you actually get to see when you're on an e-bike. And I'm going to talk about this in that new channel that we're going to be creating soon. But I actually did several tests. One of the tests that I did is I live in Davie, and there's a mall, for those that are not from this area, there's a mall called Sawgrass Mills Mall, which is in the city of Sunrise, which is from here to there, it is 12 miles, a 12-mile distance, right? I did a test to see if I can get to the mall faster than someone driving a car. Now, the rules were that when we took off, the rules were that, A, you have to stay, if you're in a car, you can't go over the speed limit. And obviously you can't, violate any traffic rules. Same thing with the bike. And I can tell you that I got to Sawgrass 2 minutes faster than my brother did in the car. So can you move quicker on an e-bike? Hell yeah, I proved it. Right? You can get places faster if you live in a congested area like I do. South Florida has gotten crazy with traffic, so you can move a lot quicker. There's going to be a lot more that I'm going to be talking about and experimenting with and showing you what you can do with an e-bike, but that'll be on the new channel, and I'll be announcing that new channel shortly once we get everything set. But anyways, for right now, I love you guys. Hit the like button, subscribe if you haven't subscribed, follow me on Instagram, and I'll see you in the next one.
Stuck at zero with your short-term rental? Watch Sarah go from overwhelmed host to marketing pro in 60 seconds. Meet Sarah, drowning in a sea of confusing marketing tactics. But everything changes when she discovers from zero to pro. She masters SEO, skyrocketing her visibility online. Social media becomes her secret weapon, turning scrollers into guests. Email marketing? Automated and personalized, working while she sleeps. With her own booking site, Sarah waves goodbye to hefty OTA fees. Sarah's not just growing, she's scaling, from one rental to an empire. Now Sarah's not just a host, she's a digital marketing pro with a thriving business. Ready for your zero to hero story? Get from zero to pro today and scale your rental empire.